Good evening and welcome to Plant Your Seed. On tonight's episode, we're going to discuss a couple of frequently asked questions when it comes to controlling your money. The first of these questions is about tracking. Tracking my expenses can become quite tedious and difficult to do over time, especially knowing that my expense items stay relatively the same. Wouldn't it be just fine if I stored 5 to 10% of my income every month for investment purposes and be done with tracking? Another statement that I often received is on the issue of planning and budgeting. A lot of people feel like planning and budgeting is like living under restriction when it comes to your finances. Why would I want to be a slave to my money by confining myself to a strict budget? Lastly, discussions about investing and the risks associated with it make a lot of people very, very nervous. Isn't saving or storing money up for the long term for my financial independence and retirement enough for me to succeed and reach financial freedom? These are the three questions we're going to discuss on tonight's episode. Don't forget to like and follow us on social media at PYSRwanda. Send us your questions. We'll be happy to discuss them online and on the show. The first question about tracking expenses is a very, very common question because tracking and journaling your spending can get very tiresome and tedious, especially over a significant period of time. Now, isn't there a more simple or easier way for me to control my spending without necessarily having to write down everything I spend on and keep receipts for my spending? Now, it is not good enough for us to have just a general understanding of where our money goes every month. We need to have a very particular and exact record of how much money we're spending on what items in order for us to have an idea of how efficient we are financially and in which areas we need to improve. After a few months of tracking, we are all surprised to see just how much we are spending every month on things we don't absolutely need, especially when we discover there is usually a more efficient way to do the same. When even a simple or small amount of money per month can make such a very large difference, especially when we work together in groups with like-minded people who wish to grow their finances, to get this money to do more collectively than it could do individually for us. It becomes very clear that reducing your financial waste is key to recovering that extra 2, 5, 15, 30,000 or even more per month from the money you already have yet spend inefficiently. This is a very exciting theme of spending efficiency, which we will discuss more in future episodes. You will remember a few episodes ago we discussed the savings program that a young group of people in university have put together in order to invest for their future. They were putting aside amounts as small as 2,000 francs a month and have already amassed several thousands of dollars in just half a year. Now, if that's what students can do by controlling their spending and set aside a small amount of money every month, imagine how much more the working class you are able to do on a monthly basis when you control your spending by tracking your inefficiency. The second comment I'd like to address is on planning and budgeting. The issue of planning and budgeting for most people can feel like living under restrictions. A lot of people want to be free with their money and not want to be a slave to their budget. A budget should never be a document that stops you from enjoying your money. However, we also can't afford to use our money without a plan or a strategy. When it comes to creating an effective and sustainable budget, we must appreciate that you are the one in control of your budget, not your budget in control of you. You are the one who decides what goes into your budget and what you leave out, considering all variables from things that you need to things that you want within reason. Remember, no one can satisfy all their wants, so we all need to be able to control the number of wants that we include in our budget. And yet it is in our hands to decide what goes into the budget and what's left out. Such a comprehensive budget, when automized with standing orders or other programmable payments, will help you maintain the necessary discipline you need with your money to achieve your financial goals without having to personally take your money over to your bank accounts every month. You control your budget. You decide what goes into it, and as long as it is practical, it will be your monthly guide leading you to your financial freedom. Lastly, talking about investments and the risks associated with putting your money into the hands of a business or investment vehicle makes a lot of people very, very uncomfortable. We are very afraid of putting our money into investments that could end up losing all the money we've invested. Isn't storing up money for your future and for your retirement enough for you to achieve your financial freedom? This subject of investing money is a very sensitive subject, especially when it comes to our tolerance of risk. Many of us are fearful of taking risks with our money because we could lose it all. The truth is, it's impossible to avoid risk entirely. Risk is a part of everyday life and unavoidable. We take risks when we enter a car, cross the street, when we consume food that we didn't prepare at a restaurant, for example. And it's interesting to note that 3 of the most dangerous places are in our home, from taking a shower to using the kitchen and walking down steps. Many accidental deaths occur inside the home, from falls in the bathroom and walking downstairs, as well as using the kitchen. Now, this never means that we don't shower or climb up and down steps, nor do we avoid using the kitchen to prepare meals. However, money is so much more sensitive because we fear the possibility of losing our investment funds. It's important for us to appreciate how to control our risk rather than running away from taking financial risks. By mitigating or reducing your risk, just like we do in the bathroom or on the stairs, by laying down material that prevents us from slipping and falling, we also need to lay down principles to help us prevent slipping and falling with our investment funds. Putting your money in financial instruments like government bonds, like savings accounts, and like the capital markets in businesses that have a proven record of success can help you control or mitigate the chances of losing your money. That said, it is very important for us to know that we can save money, we can store money. Yet money which is only stored will not be as productive as money that is stored and then planted in reputable and regulated financial instruments that grow our money for us. Thank you for watching tonight's episode on these frequently asked questions when it comes to controlling your money. We all need to be able to take time tracking our spending in order for us to employ efficiency and to reduce the waste that we create when we are unaware where our money goes and how much of our money goes to different expenses. Planning and budgeting is not meant to be a restriction that drains the life out of your enjoyment when it comes to your money, but we also cannot afford, no matter how much money we make, to spend our money without any control or without any agenda. A time is coming when we will not be able to afford everything we need to right from our salary, or when we no longer earn a salary. So being able to plan and budget for your spending and for your income has a great effect in preparing you for your financial future. Lastly, risk is unavoidable. The only thing that we can do to make sure that we control or manage our risk as best as possible is to mitigate those risks by making financially wise decisions. But we cannot avoid the awesome creative power of the compound effect if we want to make sure that we create a lasting financial future for ourselves and our families. Remember, the answer is only the answer. Financial success is living the answer every single day.